Privileged to welcome you all to the panel discussion 2, centered on the theme, the entrepreneurial journey, turning passion into purpose. I request Dr. Shishabat sir to escort the panelists onto the dais. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. This sentiment captures the core of today's conversation, where our distinguished panelists will share how they have not only identified their passions, but also transformed them into impactful ventures, inspiring many along the way. Each individual on this panel brings a unique perspective, and I'm confident that their insights will have a meaningful impact on your entrepreneurial journey. With that, I would like to begin the introduction of today's esteemed panelists. Our first panelist for this afternoon is Mr. Gurunandan Rao M, a visionary leader and a dedicated advocate for social and environmental transformation. Mr. Rao is the Managing Director of Earth Era Enterprises Private Limited and the founder and director of Hands-on CSR. An MBA graduate specializing in corporate social responsibility, Mr. Rao's professional journey began with the role as a senior officer at CSR at Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions Private Limited from 2015 to 2018. His career evolved in 2018 when he founded Hands-on CSR, a proprietary firm that transformed into a public charitable organization during the pandemic, highlighting his commitment to societal upliftment and sustainability. Hailing from a village near Dharmasthala, Mr. Rao's deep-rooted love for people and nature has been the cornerstone of his unwavering dedication to creating meaningful change. Over the years, he has successfully facilitated impactful CSR projects for esteemed organizations like Intel, Toyota, Bosch, Amazon, and many others. His expertise has also extended to partnerships with NGOs like Shri Kshetra Dharmasthala Rural Development Project, You and I, and Sahaja Samriddhi, among others. Some of Mr. Rao's most remarkable achievements include completing over 100,000 hours of corporate volunteering in just 5 years, executing CSR projects worth 3 crores as part of the COVID-19 relief efforts, launching the Lakshya Vriksha project, planting 7,000 saplings sustainably in 6 months, restoring and rejuvenating 5 lakhs in Bengaluru and initiating a 1,080-acre lake restoration project in Mysore district, transforming three old government schools with state-of-the-art facilities for underprivileged students. His commitment to excellence has earned him numerous accolades, including the Heroes of Bengaluru Award, recognition as the CSR subject matter expert at Bosch, the Best CSR Manager Award at Davitya CSR, and received the Best CSR Project Award from the Government of Karnataka in 2021. Through his work, Mr. Rao continues to focus on healthcare, education, environmental conservation, and wildlife preservation, making an enduring impact on communities across India. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gurunandan Rao, an exceptional leader and a change maker, to our panel discussion. We're pleased to have you today, sir. Now I request Dr. Sunil to welcome Mr. Rao with the memento. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce an inspiring entrepreneur and creative visionary, Mr. Shreemukha Sullia, founder and CEO of Butiso.com. Through this platform, he has established India's first and leading e-commerce platform for customized portrait paintings. Additionally, he is the co-founder of innovative ventures such as Seeki Software, Chakra Life, Leaf on Top, and Frames Adda, reflecting his exceptional entrepreneurial spirit. A graduate of SDM College of Business Management, Mr. Shreemukha has showcased his leadership early, winning all 16 college fests he has participated and the title of Best Outgoing Student in 2014. Beyond academics, he represented the Mangalore University cricket team and Mangalore Zone Under 16 cricket team, excelling both on and off the field. At just 18, Mr. Shreemukha founded CK Software, launching a career marked by innovation and determination. In 2015, he founded Bistro.com, which earned him the Pioneer Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2016. Mr. Shreemukha is also a creative storyteller and has served as the writer and director of the Kannada film Ramayana. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Shreemukha Sullia, a trailblazing entrepreneur, creative artist, and an accomplished leader. Welcome to you, sir. Now I request Ms. Nitte to welcome Mr. Shreemukha with a memento. Joining our esteemed panel, our next guest is another accomplished individual whose remarkable journey and expertise promise to bring invaluable insights to today's discussion. It is my privilege to introduce Ms. Isha Bola Kamath, Head of Growth at Bolas Agro Private Limited. She is a distinguished graduate of the University of California, Los Angeles, where she earned her Bachelor's of Arts in Business Economics with a minor in Mathematics in March 2023. During her time at the University of California, Ms. Isha demonstrated exceptional leadership and entrepreneurial acumen. As a board member of the Brain Enterprises, she organized pivotal events like Startup Labs Demo Day and represented the university at the Venture Capital Investment Competition, where her team secured the Entrepreneur's Choice Award. Her achievements also include directing the 1,000 Pictures competition, mentoring student-run startups, and promoting financial literacy as part of the Money Thing at University of California. Her academic excellence has been consistently recognized on the Dean's Honors List. Ms. Isha also gained significant professional experience. She interned with Crayon Data in Singapore, identifying leads among global bankers, and with Dots by Divisible Incorporated, a fintech startup where she contributed to market strategy and lead generation. At ING Bank, she honed her financial expertise while conducting due diligence for leveraged finance deals, including mergers, recapitalizations, and refinancing. Since April 2023, Ms. Isha has been driving growth at Bolas Agro Private Limited, her family's legacy business. She oversees e-commerce and Q-commerce operation, manages sales and marketing, and spearheads branding efforts for Bolas outlets. Her recent completion of an advanced program on nuts and dried fruit from the International Nut and Dried Fruit Council further highlights her commitment to industry expertise. Ms. Isha is an inspiring example of combining academic brilliance, professional excellence, and entrepreneurial vision. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Isha to this panel today. I request Mrs. Sukshita to welcome Ms. Isha with the memento. To steer today's panel and help us delve deeper into the perspectives of our esteemed speakers, I am delighted to introduce our moderator, Dr. Anirban Chakraborty, Director of Nitte University, Center for Science Education and Research. Dr. Anirban completed his PhD from the University of Miyazaki and has since immersed himself in the field of biomedical sciences. His work is primarily focused on developing efficient diagnostic techniques and screening small molecule compounds from natural environment for the treatment of rare genetic diseases. He is also the founder of the Cancer Gene Database at Nitte University and has been serving as the Dean of the Faculty of Biological Sciences for the past 4 years. Since 2014, Dr. Anirban has made significant contributions to research development here at Nitte University, and we are honored to have him as the moderator for today's panel. His vast expertise and leadership in the field will undoubtedly guide today's discussion and provide valuable insights into the entrepreneurial journey. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I request Mr. Gurunandan to welcome sir with a memento. With that, I would like to conclude the introductory talk and would like to hand over the panel to the esteemed moderator, Dr. Anirban. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here, and I must thank the organizers, starting from Shashi, is the one who reached out to me, and it's nice to be. Thank you. It's nice to be amongst successful entrepreneurs here, and the kind of organizations that they're leading and that they have started is so diverse and so interesting. To be very honest, I must confess that except for Isha's organization, I didn't have much idea about Mr. Shreemukha's journey and Mr. Gurunandan's journey, but it was so heartening to see the kind of activities that people are getting into, and the whole, I think the credit goes to that innovative idea that they have, and that clicks everything to make it big in this sector. As the panel members are already introduced, I think what we'll do is we will give opportunities to all the panelists here to present their journey in front of these budding entrepreneurs and the potential ones who could go on to start their own venture at some point of time. And then we have a quick round of questions on the stage, and then we make it open to all of you to ask your questions to them.
Youngsters like you and me, we are going to manage this. For what? For all the social good. Isn't that an exciting opportunity? Isn't that an exciting opportunity? Yes, all of us want to do social good, right? Yes, fantastic. So I was from the first batch of MBA CSR in South Asia, and I'm a mechanical engineer before that, but I never pursued mechanical engineering. But today I am very proud to say that we are a technical NGO. We are a lot of people say NGOs, you do good, all of that, but we are a technical NGO. So yeah, I was also working in Robert Bosch as a senior officer of corporate social responsibility for a very short duration. And then I found out that a lot of corporates in India, they just, by the end of the financial year, they cut a check to the PM Cares Fund and say, we are done with our corporate social responsibility. How many of you like this idea? Just a check to the PM Relief Fund, PM Cares Fund, and say we are done with our corporate social responsibility. Just like you, even I was not happy about it. So we wanted to do something. That's why we are called hands-on CSR. Okay. And that's when we started, and we are an NGO. So we are governed by the NGO laws of India, and our whole idea of creating an NGO was to create an ecosystem of change. And this is our vision and mission statements that you can read. Just like the previous panelists that I think you might have heard, all of us have a lot of ideas, correct? Yes. So now who's going to bring these ideas into reality? That's what is our journey. So ideation and implementation happens to be our first pillar of work that we do. Then comes monitoring and evaluation. Then comes impact assessment, and then is volunteering. For us, the first and the fourth pillar go hand in hand, and that you will see in the next slide to come. And all of you here are trying to become entrepreneurs or want to be a part of the entrepreneurial journey. And the whole world is going behind SDGs. How many of you have seen these SDGs? Fantastic. So now where is the problem statement in this SDG? In everything you will find a problem statement. In everything you will find a business opportunity. In everything you will find an opportunity in the society, a problem that you need to solve. Okay, so this, ladies and gentlemen, that will be your mantra for to start up a business. Where to start? You can always start. Good health and well-being. There is a startup that all of you can start. So there are 17 ideas right here in front of you to start off. Okay, over the last 6 years we have we've had very exciting journey partnering with all of these corporates that I think all of you might have seen. We've got two focus areas. One is people and planet. In the people, we work in the education space, we work with the community development space, we work with the infrastructure development for healthcare as well. And in the planet, that is what is the most exciting thing for me. We've done about, so this ma'am, to correct you, we've restored about 18 dying lakes of Bangalore, and we continue to restore 3 more this year. So all of that is what you will see. The first thing I will talk about is education. Even our previous speakers spoke about, and also the IAS madam who spoke about where education is, why is education important. All of us know, all of us went to good schools, correct? How many of you went to government schools here? Fantastic. How many of you had somewhere felt that you had missed out some opportunity that your friends from private universities did not have? Same opportunities? Okay. Some of us felt that. But which area, can I ask you, which area is Dakshina Kannada? Or which Dakshina Kannada? Okay. Dakshina Kannada is much far better compared to North Karnataka and rural Bengaluru also. Okay, so what we do is, this is another startup idea, all of you can do this, okay? We teach science, math and English from our studios to the remotest places of Karnataka and some of the schools where there are no teachers at all. Alright? Now, how many of you understand or believe that if some subject became favorite to you, that's purely because of that favorite teacher. That favorite teacher who used to teach very well, that subject became favorite to you because of the teacher. That is what we also believe in. And science, math and English, science and math sometimes become better for students. But if we have teachers like them who can teach in Kannada for all our Kannada medium students, can we play the next video? Prevalence bond. ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು? Play the next video. So this is in our studio, and this is on the other side where the children learn. Okay, stop. Okay, so the impact, 7 districts of Karnataka, we are not teaching anyone in Dakshina Kannada because we've got some very good teachers, and 18 cities and 12,000 students learning science, math and English every day, parallel to their timetable. Every day. And when a teacher like this teaches us covalence bond, do you think covalence bond will remain in our head forever? Pythagoras theorem, we will not remember. So this is what we kind of, try to teach and make that love with science and math. Then comes the lakes by CSR. So restoring the nature's treasure. So when we started, why we called ourselves technical NGOs because of what we do here. In all the lake restoration works that we take up, we go with 3 things. First is our baseline study. Then we do the photogrammetric drone surveys. Again, that is a startup idea. And a detailed project report. A DPR preparation itself is a startup idea, ladies and gentlemen. Government needs DPR for everything. Okay, from construction of a bridge to an education, infrastructure, to name it. Okay, they need consultants to make DPRs. If you can come up with a company which can make only DPRs, people are ready to pay you. Because I always outsource that DPR preparation work. Now, how a 1,080-acre lake's drone survey looks is something like this. This is a 1,080-acre lake. When I started restoring this lake, my dream was to go for boating in this. So now this is our progress over the last 6 years. 7 dying lakes, 7 ponds, 4 water holes for the animals of rural Bangalore, Throali Forest and Bannerghatta Forest and all of them. And 2 ongoing. So these are all the lakes that we have restored. Once a completely sewage-filled, sludge-filled, silt-filled, dry, dead lakes with no life in them. That's what we have brought them back. 18-acre lake in Shikaripalli, Electronic City, and then Sikkim Sadra again in Sarjapur, Kunchmanali, Sarjapur. All of these are before and afters of how they were and what has happened to those lakes today. And that is the Arasanakere Lake. And these are the water holes that we've created. And almost in every project that we've done, and last October, November, we had amazing rains in Bangalore. All of these lakes where we have doubled the capacity or tripled the capacity, almost 300% of what water holding was there. Now we have tripled it. Everything filled up. A lot of them reached the Brahman. Sorry, I don't know. Kodi Odi antar adike katte hodu munde hogutte next kerai. So this is again Valley School, Munisura Kunte. In Bengaluru, in and around, there are a lot of Kunte. Kunte is a small pond which is about 1 or 2 acres, and 1 or 2 construction debris truck lorries, and it is completely filled up. Okay, this is what we wanted to save, because each one of them can hold up to 3 to 4 crore liters of water in a single rain, and we've restored 5 of such lakes. These are the water holes in Bannerghatta National Park and Thurali, which is in and around Bangalore. I think BMS students, a lot of them are here, right? How many people from Bangalore? Give me a cheer. Oh, fantastic, superb. So all of you know this, right? These are all the ongoing projects. We are also now started working with the Tamil Nadu Forest Department, which is the West Kaveri, where Veerappan was there. So today we are there. These are all our corporate volunteering activities that we do as a part of our community engagement. We do more than 1.5 lakh hours of volunteering every year from different corporates, for which we've also been recognized from a lot of media houses. We also had the 1,080-acre lake, ladies and gentlemen, I was telling you about, was inaugurated by the Mysore Maharaja on 11th January 2024. And I always wanted to go boating on that lake. And can you please play the video? And that was a dream come true. Those are the ones that we have formed newly. Water is life, like that. So maximum conservation is what we are looking for. And thank you so much. I'll stop with you.
6 or 7 of them. Under gender equity SDG 5, we are number 3 in the country. Nitte University is number 3 in the country, and we are 75th in the entire world, out of about 700 odd universities that had participated last year in 2024. And SDG 14, which is life below water, ladies and gentlemen, we are number 1 in the country. Nitte University, and we are 66th in the entire world. So I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities for us to join hands with you to become part of the hands-on CSR at some point of time, and we look forward to fruitful discussion with you through the university. Thank you very much.
So it's a pleasure speaking about something, that you have created, and maybe, you are on the way to achieve, or you have already achieved something. So, when you speak about it, it really thrills, right? So, a decade back, so when I started Buddhisto.com, so what was the scene? So I still remember it. While driving from Mangalore to Derlekatte, I was recalling all those memories. So So I come from a middle class family, and I studied in a government school. I did my elementary in Kannada medium, then went to English medium for the high schools and in a government school again, right? So Kannada was the first language. I'm telling all this because I was a very confused person when all this happened. Okay, so Kannada was the first language in high school and elementary. Then going to PUC, I took Sanskrit. I don't know for what reason I took it, but I was really confused what to do and what not to do in my education. Right? Going to degree, I took Hindi. Again, I don't know for what reason I took it. Okay, so I took commerce in PUC because I wanted to play cricket and I wanted to become a professional cricketer. I played to certain level, and then after under 19 I left cricket. I was concentrating more on business because I went to some workshops or festivals. Inter-college festivals like this, right? So where I sat and listened to many people coming and speaking from different institutions or different enterprises, entrepreneurs, CEOs and stuff, right? So that actually thrilled. Back in those days, Steve Jobs quotes and speeches were trending, right? So that was the time. So soon after BCA, I told my family that I'm going to start a business. I was very interested in coding. So in PUC, when I took commerce, I still had computer science as a subject, right? Because I was very much interested in computers and coding, right? So after BC, I told my family that I'm going to start a business. I named my business CK Software. When I was in my college BCA, in the first year only I started coding and did a software, and I wanted to market it and I wanted to sell it. So in the year 2014, after getting out of my degree, so I started with the business, but it was not doing so well because because of the obvious competitions and better available applications or softwares in the market. So I was always sitting, spending time on internet, browsing stuff, learning new things or whatever, right? So, I was slightly worried that, my business was not doing that great. That business is also doing great right now, but that time it was not doing that great, right? I was browsing in different stuff. Can we go to the next slide, please? I was a jack of all trades and master of none, right? So, I used to code, I used to market, I used to go on scooter and, I used to go and service the software in different shops. I used to go to, clinics because we had a clinical management software that was built. I used to do a lot of things, but I was not a master of anything. Even right now, I believe the same. I am the jack of all trades and master of none. Anyway, so, right. Okay, so that was the same. So back in 2014, I was browsing different stuffs and I got interested in one of the products. I wanted to buy it for my staff. There was something called customized t-shirts, right? That was trending back then. So there was Vista Print, there was Printo, then there was almamaterstore.in, different websites which were selling customized t-shirts. So I wanted to buy that for my staff, and for my employees, I had ordered from Vista Print, where I had to upload a photo. I had to upload my logo, and they used to do the embroidery or print it on the t-shirt and provide it as an home delivery, right? So, how do I do it? Okay. So, June 2015, so it was my girlfriend's birthday, so I wanted to gift something very new. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so she's no more my girlfriend, she's my wife. Back in 2015, I wanted to gift something on her birthday. So, my mom is an artist. So she used to do paintings, pencil sketches. She used to conduct classes. So, in Sullia, she used to have a handful of students. Okay, so she used to charge very less. She used to conduct classes. But students are very irregular, and she lost interest in, conducting classes. So she had dropped conducting classes very long back before I planned all these things. So I gave her my girlfriend's photo and I asked her to make a pencil sketch. I'm sorry if that pencil sketch is not put here. I was not sure about speaking about it. So right now I'm thinking I had to actually put it there, right? Okay, so I asked my mom to draw a picture. So she did a pencil sketch and I gifted it to my girlfriend on her 21st birthday or something. Yeah, so that was very special. She got surprised and she loved the gift. I was like, okay, why can't I help more boyfriends? So I thought, let us do a website where people are actually doing custom, similar to what people are already doing, into customized pencil sketches, customized T-shirts or all the other stuff, printing, mud print. So those things were trending. I thought, okay, let us do something in artwork. So people can upload their photos and we'll do the artwork and deliver it to their houses. So okay, so this is my wife, the first one. Okay, so this is not the picture that was done back then. This is very recently done. Anyway, so we started with only 2 products. Back then, my mom could do only pencil sketch and handmade painting. So it was me and my mom, only 2 people. I was running my software business, and I thought, okay, so this can be a side business. So it can become a side business. So we started with only 2 products. One is handmade painting and one is pencil sketch. Very ordinary. I mean, you people might know about it, right? Many people do it. Okay, so we started with only handmade painting and pencil sketch in 2015, and then started a website. So this is the website. This is how the website looks right now. So we wanted a few variations, varieties, and SKUs, and only option of selecting the size. And then you had the option of selecting how many number of people are needed in the picture, and then they had to upload the photo and select the priority, whether they want it in express or standard, like how early do you want it. Okay, so we used to ask that question. Estimated delivery date used to get displayed there, and we used to take the order and deliver it to their houses, right? But back then the operation was not that strong. So what we used to do is, we used to courier it through DTDC or India Post. That is what we used to do. And back then in 2015, e-commerce was not that strong. It was still booming. Right after the Jio's evolution, actually e-commerce boomed. Right, so until then it was not booming. We had to do a lot of stuff manually. Like you had to courier, write down the names. Okay, so pin code and pack it ourselves and deliver it. So that is what we used to do. But I thought this can still work out because people love artworks. Even though they might not be well aware about the product, but they still love it, right? And they might not know how to do it, or they might not know about the specifications, but still, artwork is trending from a very long time. It has the history of thousands of years, right? So we thought this will definitely work out, but I wanted funding. Okay, so funding need is a fund indeed, right? So I approached Angel Investors Network and they refused because we did not have much traction. So our revenue was like, we used to sell somewhere around 10-15 frames in a month maximum, and we could not get much of the traction there. They had no much stats available to evaluate the business, so they said no. I went to a bank, SBI obviously. So when I went there, they did not say go to the next counter. They welcomed me well. They understood my enthusiasm. They made me. They asked me to sit in the chamber. We spoke a lot about our business and stuff, but they did not give me loan because I was only 20 years old. And they said, I don't think this is feasible, back because tomorrow you might go to a foreign land to pursue your career, so it might not work out. So we had the disappointment from different places. Yet from my other business, so I had a few thousands of rupees, and in 2016 there was nomination for awards from Pioneer in USA. So I submitted the nomination. Submitted my idea about the business, and they liked it, and they awarded me with the Entrepreneur of the Year 2016, right? with that, I got some handful of cash, somewhere around $1,000 or something. So which I used in the business for marketing. We started marketing it on weekends on social media, right? So the business started growing a little bit. But one thing I understood, well, while marketing, what we did is you might be knowing how Facebook works, right? Facebook ads. You have to target and stuff. So we started targeting people with the interest of painting. Okay, that was the first mistake I did, which I learned later. Right? What happens when I targeted people with the interest of painting? I got lots of resumes. Okay, because those people who are interested in painting are the people who paint. Okay, it is not the ordinary people. So we got a lot of resumes asking for the opportunity to paint. I got more number of resumes than the order. Okay, so then I had to change that interest to gifting. Okay, because people might not think about painting while they are thinking about gifting. So I had to put this idea into their mind. So we started targeting people. Right now it is broad targeting in Facebook, but back then it was interest based, right? So we had to start with the, targeting people that are interested in gifting. So we targeted them. We had no funds. We had very minimum fund, but we believed that when time is money, okay, so if you are unable to invest money, you have to invest time. Okay, so we had to invest a lot of time. We had to do things on ourselves. The first website is built by me. Initial days, I used to do the packing. I used to go to the courier office and put the book the courier and send the courier. And the operation was very hectic and less number of orders. I had to learn all these things so that I can guide today, right? So time is not just money; it is more than that. So it can teach you a lot of things. I got a lot of experience because of that. I did not go to the universities. I learned things online, whatever I needed. Right? I had to learn on fund management. I had to learn about marketing. I had to learn about a little bit of mechanics because the packing works on that, whatever it is, 3 plies or 5 plies or whatever it is. So safety packing, because what happens when you ship something, the shipment is not just calculated based on the dead weight, it is calculated on volumetric weight. Okay, so that matters. So these things are calculated, and we had to do a lot of study about it, because once we introduced few new products, we understood that we had to cut cost on the shipment also. What happened? Handmade painting became very costly because it includes a lot of artist effort. So we had to introduce other products, right? So we had to introduce something that is not that costly, still attractive, and we understood that people are still very careless about whether it is handmade painting or you do it on the computer. They don't really mind. They want a very good product, very good looking product, accurate product, right? So this is what we learned. So we combined digital painting. You know about digital painting, right? So this is not completely digital painting. Okay, so this is the combination of digital painting, smudging, recreation, coloring, and lighting. So we combined all these things and we named it Digi Painting, right? So the first one you can see here. So this is very pocket friendly. This is not as costly as handmade painting. This is our innovation. So we started this and we started getting, I cannot say, we started getting say 100 times more orders than what we used to get. Okay, so currently we are shipping somewhere around 3,000 frames every month, 3,000 artworks every month, which used to be 15 orders, right? We innovated this. And the second one is old picture digi painting, which is restoring the old photo and then doing the painting, digi painting. So this is old picture digi painting. And then okay, so we have digi merge painting where we combine multiple photos and make it as one, and this is also trending right now. So with this innovation, we could capture a lot of capture the market very well. Right now, the only problem that we had was about COD. You know about COD, right? How many of you order from COD and how many of you order from complete advance payments? COD. Okay, complete advance. Okay, so you are ordering something that is customized. Say This one, okay, so you are ordering something that is customized, you don't know how will the results be, right? So in this case, what do you opt? Handmade, complete advance or COD? Complete advance. Why? No, I'm not talking from the business perspective. I'm asking if you are the customer, what do you opt? Exactly. So this was the problem that we also had. So what we did is we introduced something called advance plus COD. Okay, so you pay only 30% in advance and 70% in COD. We provide the preview, so you see the order, you see the artwork, you approve it, and then we ship it. If you don't like it, we give the money back. So this is what we introduced. I mean, a lot of operations when we put into business, we started getting a lot of orders, and we are very successful today. And today, okay, so today, until today, we have processed more than 1,50,000 plus orders, and still 100% bootstrapped enterprise. We have not taken any funding from anywhere. And then we have done 4 lakh plus happy portraits, as in 4 lakh plus people's faces are painted until now, and 3 lakh plus social media followers. You can see Booty Store on Instagram, and you can still follow if you are interested. And I'll say, once you follow, you'll not, the ads will follow you anywhere you go. Okay, so, and we are the pioneer in this industry, so we are the first one to start, and we are still, the leading one, and we have competition, but we are still the leading one in the industry, and we have created 200 plus jobs until now. So this is about our industry, and thank you so much.
Hands in crime for someone who's going to help many boyfriends. And the manager of SBI, where he went for the loan, he met me once and he said, this man came with a proposal to help many other boyfriends. So I didn't like it. So I didn't give him the loan. Jokes apart, wonderful journey. Shreemukha, thank you very much for sharing that with us. And I'm sure lot many boyfriends did get benefited from what you've just shown. All right, and many of them have become partners in life. All right, thank you. Next we have Miss Isha from Bolas. Over to you.
I actually sat in where you're sitting today. For context, I went to NSM High School back in Nitte. So to begin with, I would want to start by thanking Nitte Education Trust for creating really strong institutions that has enabled people like us, lots of people like me, get access to quality education. I know the topic is more about talking about my journey, but I wanted to combine it with a different topic. So I'll be talking about why the next decade really belongs to India. This one? All right. Okay, so I have 4 questions before we get started. First one is, which country currently has the 5th largest GDP in the world? Okay. Which nation will contribute to 15% of the workforce by 2030? India again. Which country processes the highest number of digital payments in the world? And lastly, which nation has the 3rd largest startup ecosystem that's been built? Right? So I've picked up one company, which is the Goldman Sachs, mainly because they have the best reputation in terms of financial institutions. And what Goldman Sachs has claimed is that by 2075, they see India becoming the 2nd biggest GDP in the world. Now, for Goldman Sachs to claim that, there should be a lot of indicators that needs to be right. They wouldn't just say it out there. So it got me thinking, and I did some research on it. Why is the world betting so heavily on India today? The 3 factors. First one being people. Now, when I say people, I'm actually referring to two sets of people, right? One, we all know India has the second highest population in the world, China being number one. But what we fail to realize is that the average age of Indians in 2030 is going to be 27, 29, which is a very young, very energetic population. These people, it's, the future of this country is very bright. These people are with high ambition, they have high energy, they want to get things done, and mainly they want to put their passion into purpose. On one end. On another end, when we say by 2030, 70% of the Indian population is going to be in the workforce, we are also saying that this 70% of the population will have more liquid income to spend. So they're going to spend more on the economy, driving that growth and creating a virtuous cycle which will lead for India to become the second largest GDP in the world by 2075, if Goldman Sachs is right. Second, digital transformation. Now, when we say digital transformation, it is not just the infrastructure that has been created. Yes, we have UPI, we have PhonePe, we have Facebook. There are hundreds of apps like that, hundreds of interfaces that have been created for us to transact digitally. But more than that, it is a fact that today, even in 5-star hotels and in your pani puri, stalls, you are able to use the QR code and make payment. It is the ability of the common man who has been able to adapt to this digital transformation, which has not happened abroad, right? Abroad it's still slow. In India it's much faster. Even my Aji can use the QR code and make payment today. So from a 10-year-old child to a 75-year-old woman, everybody in India today has been able, most of them, not everybody of course, but most of them have been able to really drive that digital transformation in terms of adaptability, not just creating an interface, but the ability of common man to use that interface. And lastly, infrastructure development. There is a famous quote, former US President John F. Kennedy once said, American roads are not great because America is rich. America is rich because American roads are great. Now, of course, it was said in a different context, but what that really extrapolates to is the fact that you need solid infrastructure for a startup ecosystem to be built upon. Today, we have roads being built at an unprecedented scale. We have airports being built. We have smart cities. Bangalore is a great example of that. And on one end, we have physical infrastructure that is being built, and on another end, we have schemes that have come up, that the angel investor ecosystem that has been built, the venture capital system that has been built, Make in India initiatives as well. These initiatives really drive innovation to help India to grow to the next level. Now, we spoke about why the world is betting on India, and now you might ask me, where does the opportunities lie? So I put a bunch of things that came to my mind, food and beverages being my bread and butter. How many of you know that Kit Kat, right? One Kit Kat you get in India is very different if you see the ingredients, the Kit Kat that you get in the Europe. Did you know that? Okay, forget about Kit Kat. Cerelac, which is baby food, right? The food that is that people give to infants. Cerelac has added sugar in India, but they don't have it in Europe because you're not supposed to give added sugar to infants. Did you know that? Have you ever wondered why the packet of chips you buy for the last 25 years is priced at ₹10? 25 years of inflation has not affected that packet of chips or a 10 rupee packet of chips or a 5 rupee packet of biscuit. Of course, grammage is one thing. Of course, they have played with the grammage, no doubt on that. They've reduced the number of chips, reduced the number of biscuits, but without compromising on quality. If you just see the ingredient list, you would know. So there's immense potential in food and beverages. There are hundreds of companies like us, we are also one of them, who are trying to provide better quality food to the end consumer at affordable pricing. So if you ask me where the opportunities lies, there's n number of them. Education and skill development, of course, with 70% of the workforce being in workforce, 70% of the population being in the workforce, we'll need people to be good, trained in one particular skill, right? So skill development is going to be a very big thing. There's sustainability, digitalization, generative AI, cyber security, fashion and cosmetics, manufacturing, travel and hospitality. So every industry is booming in India. So if you ask me where the opportunities lie, you'll find a problem statement in each of these sectors. I'll not go one by one because we'll lose time. Okay, now there's a fun thing that I wanted to add. Now, I read this news on Twitter one day saying that Pani Puri vendor got a GST notice because he had 40 lakhs of money come into his account. Did any of you know about this? Now, I did a Google check and Times of India has done a fact check on this saying that no, it was false. It was just being spread as a rumor. But I ran some math. Okay, now imagine you have 550 people, you have a Pani Puri stall, you have 550 people coming to your stall every day and buying one plate of Pani Puri for 20 rupees. For 365 days a year, you can actually make 15,000 rupees in annual revenue just from that. If you manage to go to Anirban on Saturday, Sunday, and you manage to go to all the crowded areas in Mangalore, you can manage to pull that off. So if you ask me where the opportunities lie, it's also in the Pani Puri vending stalls that is widely available in India today. Now, I just wanted to mention a few brands I like with what they have done. How much revenue do you think one brand can achieve using, they started with this one pillow. So the pillow is supposed to give you a better backrest and support your back. What do you think their revenue today is? The brand's called My Frido. Any guesses? Just give me a wild guess. The wildest guess you can give. It's a D2C brand. They started in 2022, so it's been 2 years. Thousands, that's very difficult. So, they were established in 2022 and they're on track to do 100 CR this year alone. They've raised 10 crores in funding and they're on track to do 100 CR in D2C revenue this year. And they're profitable. Now, this is another startup that I like. It's called Perfora and it's a dental startup. Okay, so they started with electric toothbrushes and they expanded their range to include floss, toothpaste, teeth whiteners and whatnot. So even Perfora, they were established in 2021 and they're on track to do 70 CR in revenue this year. What I'm trying to tell you is that there's opportunity in every sector in India today because in every field, there's a food revolution that's happening. Frido wanted to help people with the kind of pillows and shoes that you're wearing on a day-to-day basis that causes a mismatch in your movement and then cause in the long term if you continue using certain shoes you'll have back issues and stuff like that. So what they really wanted to do was solve for mobility and what Perfora really wanted to do was solve for dental hygiene. Going to Bolas, this is my family business. So when we started, the idea was to give nutritious food made accessible to the end consumer at factory prices, right? So we started with dry fruits and nuts, but today we have spread our portfolio to include anything. We are still in the process, but the goal is to include anything in clean label, which is basically to ensure that we give quality products without any kind of added preservatives, emulsifiers, stabilizers, anything on the back in the ingredient list to the end consumer at affordable pricing. We have grown from, Bolas as a company was established few decades ago, but the stores as a concept, we established it in 2020. And we've grown from 2 stores in 2020 to 75 stores today. Newcorns is another brand. It's an online platform. It's a okay, it's a very interesting place. So if you can see what they sell is hydraulics, fire safety equipments and whatnot. So what they're actually building is things that a B2B industrial place would need, right? Nuts and bolts, for example. They're selling fire safety equipments, for example, which is not available on Amazon because these are all for industrial application. So they're creating a website just for that, and they're doing phenomenal. Okay, never mind. I was not supposed to show that. But now I've said all this, and you guys might be wondering, this is all great, but why you tell, when I was a student, in my head I would always think, okay, this is all great, I'll think about it when I graduate. After, my graduation ceremony, I'll think what I need to do. But the truth of the matter is that the right time to start is today. I'll tell you why. How many of you have read this book, The Lean Starter? Anyone? If not, I would recommend getting the digital version of it and reading it today. So in Lean Startup, there's an interesting concept, okay? It's called minimum viable product. By definition, there's a definition for that, but I'll give you an example. Now, taking ice cream as an example, Mangalore is the ice cream capital of the world, of India at least. If you are to start an ice cream brand today, what would you think? Naturally, what we would think is that, okay, we need a factory, we need a packaging setup design for that, we need branding done for that, we need XXX things in the to-do list to be able to start an ice cream brand, correct? But what if I tell you, you don't need all that. You can make you can learn what kind of ice cream you want to make, you can try to make it at home, you can do some random branding on Canva, take it to Tanirbavi beach on Saturday or Sunday, and check if people are interested in the product, right? There are 4 things you need to check when we say product market fit. Are people buying your product? What price are they willing to buy it at? What times are they willing to buy it at? And how are they liking the product? All 4 things to check product market fit, you can just do by doing it at home and going to your nearby place where there are too many people. Forget that. If you have to start a service, did you know Zepto started on a WhatsApp group? What did Zepto founders want to do? They wanted to check if there is product market fit. They put in their community WhatsApp group saying, hey, we'll be delivering goods in 10 minutes. If you want to place an order, just text us. Zepto, which is a $1 billion company today, emerged out of a WhatsApp group. What Zepto founders did is exactly this, minimum viable product. Just start today with whatever resources you can, see if it works, and then take it forward. Okay, so to end, the key takeaways I wanted to really have in this speech was 2 things. One, start with a niche and expand. So this goes in line with the MVP concept that I said. If you want to build something, choose one audience, go all in, market yourself amongst that audience, see if it's working, and only then go, far-fetched. And the second one is the power law. What the power law actually says is that if you have 99 ideas, most likely 98 of them might fail, but then there'll be one idea, or if you have 99 things you do, 98 things might fail, but there'll be one thing that you do which will be good enough to overcome everything that you have done so far, right? So with power law, what I really wanted to say is that try, which is your ice cream that day may not work, take that feedback, come back home, reiterate. If it's not working, switch, pivot. But the ability to be very consistent in your dedication to get it done is very important. And yeah, thank you. That's it.
With the discussion, so how we want to go about is there are a few questions which are open to all 3 of you. You could raise your hand and choose to answer, and some are specifically for each one. We'll try to make it quick, and the organizers told me that we can go until 4:30, so we'll try to get about 15-20 minutes amongst ourselves, and then perhaps another 10 minutes or so with the audience, and I hope some of the questions which I have in mind perhaps is also something that you guys would probably be thinking of asking. Maybe if they align, then we save time on that. Okay, the first question to all three of you. So my question to you is, are entrepreneurs born or made or forced into being one?
Hello, check. Hello. Am I heard? Okay. It's a
Very difficult one.
Yeah, it's a very difficult question actually.
I'm sorry about it.
Okay, you start.
Sure. There is a saying, right? So, a parent is born when the child is born. Similarly, with your brainchild, the entrepreneur is born. I believe so. Yeah, because I became an entrepreneur after my brainchild was born.
All right. So you think entrepreneurs are made? They're not born. Okay.
My understanding is this. With the child, the parent is born. Similarly, with the brainchild, the entrepreneur is born.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. All right. So, Gurunandan, I'll start. You have something to add?
For me, it was suddenly one day I wake up. I was going to a corporate job from Jalali to Kormangla.
Okay.
So, the distance is not much, but the travel is too much.
Yeah.
So now that was the inspiration for me to become an entrepreneur. I was like, I'm not going to travel all this while because from Jalali I have to go to Electronic City or wherever. So I was like, screw this, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, and now I have to travel every day, even more than that.
I think Isha also wants to say something about it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Isha.
I don't know about born, but I think it's very possible to train somebody to be that. I don't think by entrepreneur it's just starting up. It is also the abilities, the leadership qualities that the entrepreneur has in him. It's very plausible to train that.
Exactly.
But forcibly, I don't think it's possible to sustain it in the long run, because ultimately their innate self will have to come out.
All right.
So,
thank you very much. Okay. I'll start with Gurunandan, the specific questions. Okay, the first question to you is, what, according to you, is the biggest motivation in the entrepreneurial journey?
All right. So
not just the distance that you just mentioned.
Yeah. So the first motivation for me came when I started and I hired the first person. The first person who I hired was a boy who had dropped out from college. He was very good at photography. But he did not know that he was also very good at wildlife photography. So when I used to take him along with me for some of these volunteering, so when we started as an NGO, we don't have compliances, like we don't have ATG, 12A, we don't have 3 years. So the first year, no one gives you a fund.
Right.
So for that first year, we have only had to do one-time volunteering events, and that is when this boy came with me, and it was like, I'm going to click photos of all of your events, sir. So we used to go to all of these lakefronts, clean up and all of that, and this boy was like, sir, I did not have a purpose in life, but today you showed me a purpose. I want to go into wildlife conservation. And today he is one of the wildlife researchers with a very reputed organization.
Wonderful.
Now, my dream of becoming an entrepreneur has actually enabled a dream of another person. So today we have about 30 people on board who we are working with, and this is a win-win-win situation that we have created. So I win, you win, and the client also wins end of the day. So when we create this kind of an ecosystem and we expand, now that we are a 6-year-old organization, we want to become a India-wide NGO, and then we don't want to be anything less than a global NGO. So when we have these kind of dreams come when you get more and more people into your team, and this kind of really excites one. Second thing is the impact itself. When you see 12,000 students learning every day, and they would have seen your face in some of these platforms, and you go to those remote villages, and there will be a Guru Sir Bandru. And that is like, okay, now I don't remember this girl child, but she remembers me because she has seen me on that platform.
Right.
That's one thing. And water. Just imagine a place that we've gone, no water, super dry. After the first 2 rains, when we go there, the entire village is celebrating. They have a puja around the lake. all of that kind of really motivates me a lot to become a better entrepreneur. This is a not-for-profit, but I don't see any difference than running any other business, because here also I need to do the marketing, sales, all that process that has to go behind any other business, we have to do it here as well. But the whole thing is, this is a not-for-profit organization. If there is any surplus that is left, that goes back to the cause that we stand for. It can be an education or a lake restoration. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
So for this, we also had to train ourselves. So I don't come from a family of business. Okay, I come from a family of lawyers. They know how to go.
Next question is about that, precisely on that, and that is for Isha. Since you took this up as a family, so does it add extra pressure to you to become an entrepreneur because it runs in the family? Or is there a compulsion? Did you want to do something else?
No. So I feel like I've been blessed with a family that has always supported me in what I wanted to do. I was actually in the US. I'd gotten a job. I wanted to leave that setup and come back and join. So I could have stayed. I always had that option. But I do know that I've heard from people in the circles that yes, certain times the pressure does get created,
right.
But it really depends on the way your family business is working. Thankfully, I didn't have that pressure.
All right. So it's not that if a family has been in the market or in the business for a long time, it's not necessarily that you should be a part of it.
It is not necessary that you should be part of it. B, I don't think that is good or healthy for the business, because a business should always be run by people who are capable of running it. If there's somebody who doesn't want to join.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you so much. Yes. That's very important. For the sake of the business, we should.
For the sake of the business, it should be somebody who wants to do it. That's why when you said, can forcible entrepreneurs be created? It's not possible. You cannot, 1 year, 2 years, you can do it. But when you see a long-term vision, it is for the sake of the business, you can't let it go.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much. All right. My next question is to Shreemukha. You have explained your journey quite well. I mean, starting from your affairs time, yeah. What, according to you, is the biggest challenge in entrepreneurship journey? Can you equate the risk-taking ability with innovative skills? Do you think both these are equally important, or one scores over the other?
Can you repeat the second question?
The biggest challenge, is it the risk-taking ability or the innovative skills that make you different from others in the market? Can you compare both, or do you think one is more crucial than the other?
There is one more thing that people need to understand. So, in entrepreneurship journey, so the first thing you need to have is understanding the problem. So that is something that matters the most, right? So understanding the problem and then solving it. So that matters the most. So while doing that, then risk taking will be taken into consideration. So risk taking in understanding the problem or evaluating the problem. So you see the problem and you evaluate it. Some problems are worth solving, some problems are worth only suggesting. For example, in a car, you see, there is a need of sunroof. For example, there is no sunroof in the car. Think that there is no sunroof in the car's market. So you see it, you evaluate that, there is a problem and this is worth suggesting. This is not worth contributing in solving the problem. So you can suggest it to the brand saying that there is a need of a sunroof, you can do something like this, but you might not be able to do it because this is where you actually evaluate the problem. So evaluating the problem and then risk taking is actually what matters the most. So after understanding the problem, evaluating it, whether this is right to, whether it is worth enough to solve or not. So this is where risk-taking actually matters. Right. So I believe risk-taking is something that you need to focus on after understanding the problem.
Thank you. You are examples of entrepreneurs who have made it big in the market, and you are, at least from the presentation that we saw, that you are growing and you are poised towards good growth in the years to come. What would be your advice to the budding entrepreneurs on the aspect of dealing with failures in entrepreneurship? How would you advise the entrepreneurs?
I think she concluded the speech with the same point. So, try again. And, you might have 100 ways of doing it. 99 times you might fail. There is one more way which is still remaining. So, so that is what happened with we call it optimization. So even in marketing or funding or say handling the man management, whatever it is.
Right.
So optimization is what we keep doing. Okay, so there will be failures. Okay, so Sachin Tendulkar might not hit centuries every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are failures. So Sachin Tendulkar might, even in his century contribution, he might have missed few of the balls. He might have mishit a few of the balls. So there are failures every day, right? In every situation. So you need to focus on trying again. So I believe she has already answered better than me.
Right. I just want to add a different perspective to it. Now, nothing to take away from Isha's passion to do it better and to make it more innovative and hence reach, wider clientele base. But Isha comes from a background which is quite well established because it's been in existence since 1958, as I understand, Bolas. Now, if you look at an entrepreneur who is just starting and without a proper financial support that would be required, will that entrepreneur be in a position to take multiple risks and meet multiple failures yet remain determined that he would do it big?
Testing is what matters. So, Hasiye Dastu Kalchachu is what we have learned, in our childhood. So, when you're testing something, when you're doing something, do it in a limit that, you still have scope for further testing, right? So, that is what we actually need to do. So, with that, with the calculated risk, you can actually move on. So, whatever failure that comes, you can actually learn and do well. So, even if you face failures, take good learnings from it and see to that it doesn't repeat.
In fact, there was someone in the audience who met me before this, and he had a very unique problem. So his startup is 1.5 years old,
Okay.
and they are into HR recruitment.
All right.
They are doing fine. They are doing well. That means they are paying their salaries and everything is net zero.
Okay.
All right, but they are not making profits. Okay. And he is like, sir, whatever I am doing now, this is not giving me a lot of happiness. What I want to do is, I want to hire, I want to take students, groom them to particular roles and then place them so that they match those roles better because they are a HR consulting firm and HR recruiters.
Okay.
What to do? Now I told, see, this is a cash cow that you already have. Don't let that go. So for us, as I was telling you, the first 3 years was compliance. We did not have compliance. So what to do? We had to survive. Yeah. So this survival of any business is what we will have to look into for at least for the first 3 years. If you don't survive, then how will you even innovate? And once you do that survival, then make few of the things into automated things so that, at least this part of the business runs automatically and you get some kind of a revenue there and you take a leadership role later. Right? You take a leadership role where your whole role is to ideate, your whole role is to build the vision. Right? Now, there you also do the hiring as to who's going to take your vision forward. So that building yourself as a leader, that's something which all of us need to really think and work on ourselves.
I have a question on this coming up. All right. Isha, you want to say something?
I wanted to add, so what a lot of people don't know is that before we launched Bolas, we had two brands that didn't do well. So in 2009, we launched a brand called Are Nuts. We placed it in 2,000 stores in Bangalore, but it was wrong place, wrong product, wrong time. People were not ready to spend that much on a premium product at that point in time.
Right.
Then in 2018, we launched a brand called Molesies. Again, we wanted to make it an online brand, right? Amazon, Flipkart. We did very well, but in terms of revenue, we did well, but the numbers were not working, so we shut that down as well.
Okay.
So Molesies was right time, wrong place.
Okay.
And the third try was with Bolas, which was right place, right time. So that clicked. So it was not. So I feel like even if you say that, obviously, if the businesses are established, there are too many internal factors that go up and down within the system. So an entrepreneur is not just And to take away from the definition, at every stage of a business, there will be some things that need to be taken extra care of, some things that will be on stability, and some things that are being built.
All right.
So for a business to grow, yeah.
Thank you. As we know, there are 5 steps in the entrepreneurial journey. So we have idea generation, opportunity evaluation, as you said, testing the water, and then planning. You strategize, you make your company, and then launch, and then grow. So in these 5 critical steps, what would be, is there a step which is more critical than the others? And if there is, what would be that step according to you?
No, all are equal. So, again, if we compare it to scoring a century, so, facing first few balls and understanding the pitch is equally important as finishing the game. So, all the steps are equally important. So, you have to be cautious in all the way, and you need to give equal importance. Sometimes what happens, we also run a software business. Okay. So, a lot of people seeing our, Bootistore.com success story, they approach us with the, idea of making an online platform or an e-commerce business for XYZ kind of products. Okay, so their idea is just that, they want a beautiful website with very attractive offers, and everything is there in place.
Right.
But they leave it there. So they launch it and they leave it there. The problem is, what happens when you launch a business or an online store? It is nothing but, you are opening a store in the top of a hill where no one is coming. It is like that. You need to generate traffic, right? So you need to generate traffic, plus you need to generate a good traffic, as in qualified traffic. So equally matters.
Right.
And then you generate say revenue. After generating revenue, it doesn't stop there. You need to understand how much are you spending, what is your costs, how much are your capital expenditures, what is your operational expenditure. You need to understand that. So it doesn't stop there. You need to be profitable. So it doesn't stop there again. So you have to evaluate your business. So each stage it matters the most. If you drop it somewhere, it is actually gone. Right? So, a successful batsman is one who scores a century. He doesn't just start well, he doesn't just, complete it well. Even if you score 100 out of 300 balls, you are not a good batsman. You need to score 100 out of 80 balls. Right? Okay. So it is not just about finishing the game. It is also about starting, maintaining, and finishing. So all the steps are equally important, and you need to concentrate on all the steps.
Do you still play cricket?
Yeah, I still play cricket.
You see that?
2 days back we played here and there like a
You didn't try your hand in IPL and KPL?
No. I am not that good right now.
I wish you were there. Okay. All right.